The NBA's worst fear just came true. The Denver Nuggets are heating up and the supporting cast is going crazy. On a night where Nikola Jokic had maybe his worst game of the season, the supporting cast stepped up. Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. And I think David Adelman watched my latest video because they got Michael Porter Jr. shots and he delivered. Also, shout out to Christian Brown. He had the second best player in the world in a box all night long. But yeah, we got to talk about this because going forward, you beat the best team in the world with the best player in the world having a really bad off night. The Nuggets, they could legit win this series now. Of course, they won game one, stole it in Oklahoma City. I kind of thought it was a fluke, but this is getting very real right now. And if you watched my last Nuggets video, you would remember me being very adamant about them getting Michael Porter Jr. the ball more. And they did. 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist in 42 minutes with a bum shoulder on 7 of 10 shooting from the field. And they were able to run more actions for him to get him open looks, like right here, where Aaron Gordon's going to come set this back screen on Jalen Williams, a flare screen, whatever you want to call it, and PJ is going to move to the open area. Still a good contest from Chet, but it's enough time for him to get a clean look at it. Same thing right here. This time they're going to line up in a little bit of a horns action with Aaron Gordon and Jokic at the elbows. They're going to set another flare screen. This time Jalen Williams, well, they're both Jalen Williams. One of them doesn't hedge and one of them doesn't rotate. They don't play that very well at all. It got confusing right there because they're both Jalen Williams. Nice pass by Russell Westbrook. And then once again, just knocking down threes. This was a big one. He got hot early on, and that was a huge part to them being able to keep up early on. He was 5 for 6 from beyond the arc last night, which was crucial for the Nuggets because over his last 5 games, he had been 6 for 21. He hit almost as many attempts last night as he has in his last 4 games coming into this series, and he was 2 for 11 so far. I love this action right here, getting him going downhill at Chet Holmgren in, a little off-ball curl action, and then we get to see some vintage MPJ knocking down shots like this, and even a little bit of defense late. Right here against Hartenstein with the block, coming off the ball or dribble handoff right here. Jalen Williams trails. It's too late. That was a huge shot. And then another big time shot right here late in the game. Jamal Murray drives in, draws the defense. Michael Porter Jr. in a 2-point game in overtime in a crucial game 3, slides to the open area, slides to the slot, and drains it. Then we got to talk about Aaron Gordon because this dude has been going crazy in the playoffs. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal last night in 46 minutes. And the Nuggets, they just keep hanging around and they just keep finding ways to win. Aaron Gordon was 7 of 11 from the field and 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. He has been a sniper this year, shot 43% from 3 on the regular season on about 4 attempts per game, and he's hit 2 of the biggest threes for the Nuggets over the course of the season with this one and then obviously the one in game 1. But what has really stuck out to me for Aaron Gordon in this series has been his ISO scoring. Yes, his 3-point shooting has been great, but his ISO scoring right here, he's got Chet on the wing. He's just going to rip through, blow by, and get to the rim. And Chet's a really good defender. He's got really long arms, great wingspan. This is a tough shot. He moves him out of the way with the body and goes up with the right and gets it to go. And then right here, a little pick and roll action with Jokic with Gordon as the initiator. Cason Wallace goes under this screen and he says, all right, I'm going to make you pay. Hartenstein, if you're that far deep in drop coverage, I'm going to make you pay. And he knocks it down. And that's a big shot to tie the game with 9 minutes left. And then here in the third quarter, he's been so good throughout his career playing off of Nikola Jokic. Jokic just drops it off. He goes up and dunks it. And then same thing right here with the dagger with a 9-point lead now with a minute left. Thunder aren't coming back from that. Then we got to talk about Jamal. And for the longest time, I've been saying for them to be successful in the playoffs, Jamal has to be hitting shots. He had 27 and 8 last night to go with 4 steals, which was a really good night for him defensively. This is a tough shot. He just hits tough shots. The degree of difficulty that this dude takes shots at is ridiculous. The fact that he's shooting 48% from the field and 40% from 3 or whatever it was this season is incredible. 9 of 19 last night, getting downhill all series long. And he had some tough defenders in the first series. He's got a plethora of great wing defenders facing off against him this series, and he's still cooking. Lou Dort, You got to be up on this hedge or he's going to make you pay. Then takes Case and Wallace right to the rack. This is ridiculous. I mean, goodness gracious. We're trying this down 3 in a big-time game 3 in the second round of the playoffs. Really? That's incredible right there. But I've always said he's got to be the closer. Yes, Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world, but Jamal Murray has to be the closer for this team. You have to have a guard that is able to close out games, and that's what he did last night. Big time shot with 10.5 left. In the fourth quarter and overtime, he had 10 points on 3 of 8 shooting from the field and also had 3 assists to go with it. He doesn't get enough credit for the playmaker that he is, but this is a big time shot right there. And then, like we said, driving in and finding Michael Porter Jr. with about 4 minutes left in overtime. This is a huge possession. They can really build on their lead, and they do so because he drives in and kicks to the open guy in MPJ, who slid right into the slot. And then look at the defense. This is fantastic defense against Jalen Williams, who had a night last night, by the way. 32 points on 11 of 21 shooting from the field. And Jamal locks him up and then goes coast to coast and finishes with a layup to push it to a 7-point game here in OT. A huge swing. And that's Jamal Murray, who is not the best perimeter defender in the world. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, make sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying it at any point. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Now, let's take a look at the Joker, because yes, like I said, I think he's the best player in the world. He had a bad night last night. They were really loading up on his right hand, and it showed in the box score. He had 20 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists, which is insane to me that is his off night. But he had 8 turnovers. And he was also 8 for 25 from the field and 0 of 11 from beyond the arc. I thought that end of regulation 3 was going in. It didn't quite go in, though. Nuggets won in OT nonetheless. And they pretty much won this game without the Joker. Yes, he had 20 and 16, but 8 turnovers, 0 for 11 from beyond the arc, that is bad. You're not going to see that much out of the Joker. 8 for 25. He's been historically inefficient in the playoffs, but he did have some clutch buckets. Opening possession of OT takes it right down the lane to the rim, and then this was one of the daggers late. Pushes it back out to 7 with a minute and a half left. And yeah, if they're winning games without the Joker, that's the whole point of this video. That's why the league is a little bit worried right here, because the Nuggets are figuring it out. Christian Braun. Huge shout out to this guy right here. 8 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist on 3 of 8 shooting from the field. And you might be like, why are you shouting this man out? It's because of what he did to SGA last night. In 10 minutes and 6 seconds of them going up head to head on the defensive side of the ball, he scored 8 points on 4 of 12 shooting from the field. Christian Braun shut him down last night. Shut down Brown. Did we just come up with a nickname right there? But he was clamping. Also clamps up Jalen Williams, gets a great contest, and then comes back in out of bounds after getting hit in the face and gets the block, in which the Nuggets are able to secure possession. That is fantastic effort right there from Christian Braun, and that's just what he brings to the table. And then, knocking down threes. Yeah, he's been Contavious Caldwell-Pope on steroids so far in this playoff run. Russell Westbrook, he did his job last night, came in and just wreaked havoc on the Thunder. Yes, he wasn't the most efficient, but, that's kind of typical Russ at this point. But he is able to knock down that corner 3 like nobody's business. Another guy that's able to knock down that corner 3 is Peyton Watson, who had a nice impact on last night's game, hit a couple of threes. Of course, he is a fantastic defender, maybe the best defender on the Nuggets. And if he's hitting threes, that means he is able to play and get minutes. Had a big-time contest right there, and then gets the block. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but, we've seen some crazy finishes in this playoff, so you had to throw that in there. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. Leave me a comment down below and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're looking for 300 likes on today's video. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching.